Good Tuesday evening, Southeast Texas. Hope you're doing well. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at your 7-day forecast and take your questions. Thanks so much for visiting us on 12 News Plus. First off, very interesting day across Southeast Texas. This is fair weather cumulus. You can see the thickness of the clouds is not terribly high. And what is happening is as these clouds built up this afternoon, they developed into a level of drier air. So the clouds built up in the moisture close to the ground. And once they get up to about 8, 9, 10, 11,000 feet, guess what? The air's dry. And so those clouds evaporate. That's why we track moisture, and that's why I show you these graphics, because when the moisture in the mid-levels of the atmosphere is low, you're going to get lots of sun and little, if any, chance of rain and thunderstorm activity most times. But as moisture moves on in, the green that we show you a lot, that means that there is the potential for shower and thunderstorm activity. Otherwise, very fascinating day out there this afternoon, and looking at still the lower 90s, lots of sun out there this evening. So here's the plan over the next 7 days. It's going to be hot, humid, and dry coming up tomorrow. Hot and humid and probably dry coming up on Thursday as the clouds move on in. Then Friday and Saturday, looking at a pretty good chance of rain across the area, maybe some thunder showers, and then lower chances, hotter temperatures expected early next week. So we've got a passing wave of disturbed weather in the upper levels moving through. Grass pollen has gone back up to moderate levels today. Still on your allergy report, looking at moderate levels of wheat and grass pollen and mold across our area. So tomorrow, I'm forecasting a little bit hotter tomorrow. Still mostly sunny, no rain, a southwest and south wind. This is my forecast at 96. Modeling shows no rain and about 97. Well, we'll see about that. It's usually running a little high, but again, looking at lots of sun coming up in the triangle. For the lakes area, we'll go 97, mostly sunny and a southwest wind real light. No rain expected. And let's see, well, we're pretty close, as you can see, as that forecast is right on the money. So I agree with the modeling there. I think we'll see a little bit of cloud cover, but generally mostly sunny to sunny skies expected across the area. So here's the plan for the afternoon high temperatures. Mid-90s here in Beaumont Wednesday and Thursday, and then as we head towards Friday and Saturday, because of the cloud cover and the threat for rain, it looks like temperatures will drop on into the upper 80s. Then we'll start climbing out of that and back up into the low, maybe mid-90s by next Tuesday. High pressure not far away from our area. And again, we talk about moisture levels in the atmosphere. We track those. And this is through the column. In other words, it's through the whole lower layer of the atmosphere, the troposphere, up to about 10 to 12 kilometers high. And we kind of average all that out. And it looks like fairly low amounts of moisture over the next 2 days, we'll say. Today we didn't have much. You can see somewhere in this vicinity. And it may go up a little bit as we head towards Thursday. I think we'll see more in the way of cloud cover. It may be dry on Thursday, but Thursday night, look at that, pretty good amount of moisture. We're well up the legend. Look at this, yellow and oranges. So that means these numbers mean that there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, in the troposphere, that's going to be over our area for Friday and Saturday. Then we start stair-stepping it down. Moisture levels go down, so our chances of rain will go down, and we should see more sun as we head towards Monday and Tuesday of next week. I've shown you this before. We were talking about that on Skycam just a minute ago. We saw lots of low-level moisture. That's where you get the partly cloudy skies. But as we go up into the atmosphere, once those clouds develop, they encounter this very dry air and evaporate. See that right there? Guess what? Similar situation tomorrow. In fact, it'll dry out a little bit tomorrow in the lower levels of the atmosphere, so we may not see as much cloud cover tomorrow as we did today. We saw generally partly cloudy skies. It may be mostly sunny tomorrow because of the low-level moisture is very lacking, but once those clouds build up, they encounter this dry air at 10,000 feet and go just like that. So Thursday, clouds will be on the increase, and then Friday and Saturday, here we go. There's lots of green, and that generally means that we all have lots of clouds and generally a pretty good chance of rain. Then moisture levels start going back down. Low level moisture is there. but we see drying at around 10,000 feet both Sunday and Monday. And Tuesday, look at that, not a lot at all. So that is very key in the forecast over the next 7 days. So right now, quiet weather conditions, lower 90s across southeast Texas. As far as the airports, Pro Roofing Concept satellite and radar loop showing lots of mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. So across the state, we were talking about this yesterday, upper level low pressure up into the Texas Panhandle, and the upper level pattern shows high pressure off towards our area. So high pressure over us right now and low pressure off towards our northwest. So the flow in the upper levels is dragging in Pacific moisture into West Texas out of the, and that is what is creating the shower and thunderstorm activity off towards our southwest and south because of a trough off towards California. So high pressure will be in charge of our areas' weather coming up today, well obviously today and tomorrow, and then it'll start weakening and moving away from our area as Thursday unfolds. So heat advisories again in effect for East Texas. Very few spots saw heat advisory criteria today. It may happen tomorrow, but again, be smart on the heat. It's not record-breaking by any stretch of the imagination, but as you can see over towards the Mississippi River Valley and back over to Mississippi, extreme heat warnings out that way. Otherwise, in the tropics, we don't expect anything the next 7 days. We'll watch that disturbance that we'll show you in just a minute, moving around from the Bahamas through the Gulf, and that's mainly upper levels. And the other thing is that we don't see a break in the shear. It does come down a little bit, but I think that the shear is going to keep that from becoming surface based. So as we take a look at our forecast tonight, high-res modeling showing us falling through the 80s under mostly clear skies. Should be a quiet night, should be a humid night. I think we'll get into low to mid 70s in the lakes and into mid to the upper 70s and lower 80s here in the triangle. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, no rain expected. It's going to be hot and humid with high temperatures in the mid 90s, and shower thunderstorm activity fairly isolated, may actually develop over towards the Acadiana, well off towards our east there. Otherwise, there's your upper level high sitting right there, right over southeast Texas. Look at the moisture. That's tropical moisture coming in from the east. And this is due to an upper level disturbance. We call it an inverted trough, and I'll show you that in just a second. But again, the high over us tomorrow, and it begins moving away on Thursday. Okay, this is what we call an inverted trough. Okay, it's upside down basically. Let me try that again. An inverted trough. That's a lot of jargon, but basically it's upside down. Remember, a regular trough that brings us cold weather, let me draw over here, is something like that. And that's what brings us, you know, with the jet stream, this is what usually brings us cold weather. Well, this is upside down. This is an inverted trough of low pressure in the upper levels. This trough right there does have some disturbances with it, and it's got quite the surge of moisture moving in across Louisiana. This is Thursday, so we'll be right on the edge. I elected not to go any rainfall. There could be some small chances by 6 p.m. Thursday. It'll be real interesting. Modeling kind of went a little drier, a 10% coverage possibly, but it's really, the winds are going to be out of the east. So any shower and thunderstorm activity that develops in the coastal marshes of Louisiana, that may be dragged into our area from the east as we head towards, say, Thursday night. So that's when I think it's going to start ramping up a little bit as we head on into Thursday night. So the high is going to be weakening and moving away. So as we work on into Friday and Saturday, look at the disturbances, moisture over our area. The winds aloft start becoming southeasterly. That's a little more favorable for dragging in quite a bit of moisture, and that comes in off the Gulf. So quite the fetch of moisture. This is quite high as far as tropical moisture, right there on your legend. So quite a bit of moisture. Now, as we work on into Saturday, still lots of moisture. Flow becomes more southerly and southeasterly, and that will continue to pump in tropical moisture. And that inverted trough, you can see the inverted trough, here it is right there, something like that, is going to be continuing to move on off towards our west, away from the area. So as that wave or upper level trough moves away, it takes the moisture with it. So we're losing all the oranges and reds. We still got a little bit of moisture. It's fairly low, or at least lower on that legend. So we've gone basically from about right here back down the legend that shows lower amounts of moisture in the atmosphere. So rain chances will probably go down as we work on into, say, Monday and Tuesday of next week. This is a strong high. Let me draw the outline. This is a fairly strong high in the upper levels that extends back up towards Kansas. It's kind of blocking anything trying to come back around from the east. So rain chances will go down as we head towards, say, Tuesday of next week to maybe just a 20% coverage. That's what's going to happen over the next 7 days. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 1 to 2 feet. In your coastal marine forecast, we'll see southwest winds at 5 to 10 knots. Water temperature 92. High tides at Sabine Pass. If you're going fishing, I'll be asleep at 4:42 a.m., but at 12:35 p.m. there's another high tide at Sabine Pass. So tonight, mostly clear. Light south winds will go calm. So we'll see 73 to 74 lakes. Triangle 76 to maybe 89. 81 in Port Arthur and 79 in Mid-County, Bridge City, back over to Orange. So a warm night, warm, humid night. Tomorrow, no rain expected on Wednesday. Highs 93 to 97, triple-digit heat indices. That's why there's going to be a heat advisory, because our criteria for them issuing a heat advisory, the National Weather Service, is 108. We'll see if we make it there. The UV index, because of all the sun, will be extreme at 11.5. So make sure you use the sunscreen. We'll see light southwest and south winds at 2 to 5 miles an hour. So our forecast for tomorrow, again, we're expecting highs in the mid-90s. Let's see if anybody texted me. Any questions? No messages. So again, mostly sunny skies are expected tomorrow. We'll go 97. Now, we could get maybe inland southeast Texas. It could be a 98-degree reading. So that combined with the heat index, yeah, it's going to be a hot day. 97, maybe 98 in the lakes. And the triangle seems like about 94 to 96 from what I came up with. Southwest and south winds very light tomorrow. So obviously a very sauna-like day tomorrow. Thursday, we showed that the moisture will be coming in during the late afternoon hours. So right now, I'm not going to go any rain Thursday until about 6 p.m. That's when the day ends as far as our forecast. We'll go with skies becoming partly sunny, maybe mostly cloudy. Rain, scattered showers will be moving in on Thursday. And for Friday and Saturday, this is when we expect our best chances of rain and maybe thunder showers across our area. Now, I'm not going to show you just one model. One model can be wrong. So we're going to show you the amounts on Friday and Saturday here in the triangle, and we're going to take 7 models. And you can see anywhere from 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. This is just Friday and Saturday. 9/10 of an inch up to 140. So the wettest is 1.4. The lowest is 1/2 inch. I think we can handle that. So again, I'm not going to take one model. We're going to average all these, and you come up with 0.88 inches of rainfall through Friday and Saturday. Now, lower amounts will be certainly possible in the lakes. Higher amounts are going to be expected along the coastline because you're closer to that trough and deeper moisture. So I could see some isolated 2 to 3 inch totals in spots along the coastline, and we could